Hello, everybody. My name is Grady Hodge, and today I'm on the topic of CMS, Content Management Systems. So a little bit more about this is a CMS is a content management system that manages or combines three components of a website very well. The content, text, images, fonts, font types, colors, themes, all that type of stuff is all housed within the same folders, within the same way of distributing this type of content. There's also the admin screens and backend configuration. A lot of times you'll hear something called a C panel. That's a control panel for admins and or marketing departments to add, update, and change content, and also throw in some extra blogs, anything like that. That's done on a C panel. That's one thing that's very popular with some of these CMS, this content management systems, is the ease of use for people who need to update and maintain these websites. Also, presentation layers. In the WordPress environment, they're called themes. Really what these are pre-built websites, different types of pages, different styles, different purposes or objectives for different types of websites. And there's hundreds, even thousands of themes or these websites, pre-built websites for you to choose from. And that's another thing that the most popular content management systems will help someone build out. Now, the top three most popular content management systems are: number one, we've all heard of WordPress; number two, Drupal; and number three, Joomla. Now, what's best about WordPress is it's easy to use and maintain, and it's mostly free. Now, the trouble with WordPress, the con, is that it's most targeted by hackers because everybody knows WordPress, it's everywhere. It's a lot easier for hackers to learn how to target different types of vulnerabilities. Say someone's plugin stopped getting maintained, or it needed, the security on your website needs to be refreshed, and there's new features that got introduced, and there's some ways that they can hack your website. So that's the downside of WordPress. Now with Drupal, one of their greatest strengths is they have a very robust backend for databases. They're also they do that really well. Now, the downside of Drupal is it is not user-friendly. You've really got to dive into their environment and really get to know them on a very technical level before you get good and efficient at building out websites with the Drupal content management system. Joomla, it's actually great for banking industries because they also have a really strong connection with the back end and with financial applications. And again, similar to Drupal, it's not user-friendly. Sometimes you need a team of developers to help you get the most out of this type of platform. And so it's not for everybody. There are actually dozens and dozens of content management systems out there. WordPress is popular probably because it's free and they've got an incredible amount of plugins. And the community behind WordPress is very strong, very active. Now, WordPress is popular for a good reason. Let's get into the details, because understanding WordPress will help you understand any other type of content management system as well. Now, the themes I mentioned before, these are pre-built websites. One of the neatest things about WordPress is you can pretty much find anything that will fit what you're looking for when you're building out a website. And a lot of these themes are more and more customizable, even to the level of a blank slate, a blank canvas. So there's also, they have a great admin panel, control panel, C panel, all the same thing. And it really helps people, maybe a client or a marketing department, upload or update content. Then there's plugins. I've been throwing that word around. If you don't know what a plugin is, let's go into this, because it's one of the most amazing things about a content management system, because basically these plugins are web applications, little bits of software programming that you can just add on to your website. It's called extensibility. Now, with these, they can be built to help websites do pretty much anything you can imagine. And some of them are free, some of them are proprietary and cost money, some of them are a mixture, they're called freemium, so partly free and partly paid for. Then they will mostly do security, SEO, contact forms. There's all kinds of other, anything you can imagine or think of that you would need. There's probably a WordPress plugin that was built for that. Now, be careful with plugins. You need to make sure that they are well maintained. The most popular plugins will also probably be the most well maintained as well. So the number of active downloads is very important to pay attention to when you're selecting your own plugins for a WordPress website. Now, let's take a tour of what the WordPress cPanel, the control panel, looks like. This is a website I just built for a friend of mine at church. And what we're going to next is to take a look at this backend, or the control panel. So here you see I'm already logged in as the admin. And here's a little menu up here. This is part of my control panel up here, a little bit of anything I would need most. So let's go to the dashboard. Okay, so this here, everything you're looking at here is our dashboard. This over here, focusing just on the content management side of things, posts will be blog posts. This is where you'll upload any new blog posts that you have there. Now, media. In the media library, when we're building out websites for class, we set up a folder for images. Same thing's going on here. It's all just contained within this ecosystem, this environment for your website, so that it can be shared on the web. Now you've got the pages, all these pages we're building out and uploading to GitHub. They're on CMS, or they're on WordPress instead of GitHub. So, here's our 4 pages here, and this is how and where we update the content, and also the layouts as well. So let's go down to appearance, and here are the themes we were talking about. One of my most favorite I'm using right now is Astra. Very highly customizable, even to the point of having it become a blank canvas from wall to wall. You get to design everything. Works really good. Let's see, plugins, here we go. I like to use the fewest plugins as possible. And for example, I've deactivated my contact form because right now we don't need it. Really simple website, pretty straightforward, and they don't even need a contact form right now, and they're happy not to have one. So then we've got the security. iThemes, pretty great for free. I've got that maxed out with a lot of its free services, most of its free services. And then we've got Yoast. This plugin is specially designed for SEO and to really help you make sure that anything on the back end, the metadata, is really up to speed where it needs to be to maximize your search. Your website can be found by other people who are searching for these keywords. So let's go to plugins, add new. Now here, featured, popular, recommended, very important. Take a look at how many downloads they have and how many active users. Contact forms, very popular, been around for decades, and they've got over 1 million active installations right now as we speak. And it's as easy as clicking the activate button to select some of these. Akismet anti-spam, also very popular. Most of what Jetpack does is really great. And so there's thousands of different types of plugins, different types of themes, different combinations to build out a website that's customized to everything that your objectives are to accomplish for that specific website, especially when it comes to SEO and security. And so those are the main highlights of what a content management system can do over here. Pretty straightforward. So moving forward, there's something more. Now we've talked about content management system, but have you ever heard of an LMS? So an LMS is a learning management system, and this is a very powerful concept because you're actually on a learning management system right now. I Learn Brightspace, that is LMS. Now, a lot of these universities, most of them nowadays, have moved over to some type of LMS for their online options for taking courses. And there's also a lot of other private individuals with their own websites that they're going to teach you how to do SEO, do digital marketing, or play the piano. These asynchronous learning environments are a very powerful tool to leverage what you know and what you can teach other people, because they can learn anytime they want to. They can click on that information and interact with that information, and sometimes with you. So that's what the LMS does best, is it can connect content between the professor or the teacher and the learner, and protect it behind a paywall, because we've all got to pay tuition if we want to get onto our iLearn Brightspace and stay active there too. So there's another new trend of CMS, and this is actually one of the things I was really excited to talk to you guys about today, and that is this new concept here called a headless CMS. It's also known as headless WordPress or decoupled CMS. Basically all the same thing. And so this is where you can mix and match the front end and the back end framework. Say, WordPress themes are run from PHP, but you've got a client and they really need something that's more interactive, more robust, and just a better customized experience for their clients. And that's all about JavaScript, React, these different types of platforms and frameworks that really focus on JavaScript over PHP. But this is a larger corporation established, and they've got a marketing department. And this marketing department, they are really efficient at using the WordPress control panel that we just looked at. They know it, they're intimate with it, they've been using it for a number of years, and everybody knows how to get their job done. And so it would be most advantageous for that company to keep their control panel, which is WordPress, but switch to a framework like Gatsby that's really strong on JavaScript. And with a headless CMS, you can have the best of both worlds. Also, with the headless CMS, it becomes future-proof, or as best as you can be. Because what if there's a new technology we've never heard of before, and now all the websites we have now are going on to virtual reality through these virtual reality goggles. And so now your website needs to become not only three-dimensional, but it needs to be immersive. So that is one thing, one advantage of a decoupled CMS, headless WordPress, headless CMS. That's one advantage of what these things will do, is really make your content versatile to be able to push your back end onto any front end and get your front end to connect with any back end that fits what you need best. And so that's all you need to know about CMS right now. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was interesting. I learned a lot of new fun things about headless CMS, and I've got some sources. If you're interested in learning more, I have some really fun podcasts that talk about it in great detail, along with a lot of other fun stuff. Wish you the best. Have a great day.